was only upon my arrival at the Geneva airport that I realized it was over. Over there, it was difficult. Physically, but mostly psychologically. And if I had to do it again, well, I don't think I would. In September 2008, I left Switzerland and its comfort to spend 10 months alone in the archipelago of Tonga, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. To leave, I brought with me a machete and my Swiss knife. I also had a medical kit, satellite phone, solar panel and battery to supply energy for my cameras. It's a dream I wanted to realize. I've been working for 14 months for it and now I'm here. But I think the most important thing is to stay zen and to keep calm, because whatever happens, I'll be alone. The archipelago of Tonga is lost in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The island of Tofua is about 250 kilometers away from the capital, and its last inhabitant left more or less 20 years ago. Tofua is a caldera, a former volcano which exploded. In the middle, there is a lake of sulfuric water, and north of the island you can see the smoke from the still active volcano. It's only 24 hours I'm here. I'm missing food, I'm missing drink, water, I'm missing everything. It's horrible. No, it's not horrible, but it teaches me that you cannot do it at the first time. You have to go step by step, and I have to learn. And it takes much more time than what I expected. The next day, I installed my solar panel to charge my batteries and I went back fishing. At sundown, I still hadn't caught anything. But just as I was about to give up, I caught my first fish. To top that, it was big enough to feed me over the next 2 days. I feel good. I feel much better than this morning because I could get a fish, I could eat it, and I still have a little bit for tomorrow. Then I'm happy. I will just finish this fire again, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and after I go sleep because I don't want to waste some wood. There is many, but it is not dry. All the wood is wet. Hello, hello. It's full of ants. Probably I cannot even eat it anymore. Oh yeah, right. I was sure. They got it all. There weren't any friends on the island. I had to find a way to preserve my fishing. At home in the Alps, the elders used to use 2 ways to preserve their meat: salting and smoking. Alright, the target is to make something to smoke the fish, because I hope to have many fishes. No, many fish. And I need to smoke them. Building the smokehouse didn't take too much time. It worked perfectly. My grandfather would have been proud of me. For the first 2 days, I slept as I could, using the curved trunk of a coconut tree. But I wasn't going to spend 10 months like that. I had to build a shelter for myself. I started with the roof. Lattice work, coconut lashes, young or dry, the usual look or the unusual one. For the roofing, I used coconut branches that I plaited through the paneling, hoping this wouldn't let the water through. And 4 days later, my shelter was built, and I was able to move on to something else. I still had to accomplish one important ritual in order to live at nature's rhythm. I had to stop time. The thing is, I should find a nice place for the watch, not too far from the ocean, so even if it's underground, it can get a good vibe from the sea.
Yes!
It's beautiful.
So from now on, I will be here for 9 months and 20 days approximately by myself, where I have stopped the time.
At the beginning, fishing took up most of my time. I wasn't catching fish every day, and I was spending long hours waiting for them to bite. I imagined a system to free myself from this chore. The principle was simple. A very heavy branch as a fishing rod, one heavy stone as a counterweight, the fishing line and the bait, and that did the trick.
Alright, that's finished. I'm exhausted. It looks very easy, I know, to do it, but I don't eat so much now because I don't have the choice, and I drink, that's okay, but every time I have to do a physical effort, I feel tired very easily. Then now I will have a rest. I'm not in a hurry neither, anyway.
When you are hungry, you are less picky. I found some sea snails. Well, only a few of them, not enough for a feast. The lack of food, the sudden solitude, no points of reference, I don't know what waited on me the most, but after 8 days, I cried.
My family is missing me, and everything I know is missing me, actually. Here it's nice, but I cannot discover, I have no food, I have water, yes, but it's so hard, it's very hard. And in my house I have everything, then I say, why are you doing this, you know? You could stay home, cool, with your friends, girlfriend, family.
It just hit me without warning. I was down in the dumps, 22,000 kilometers away from home, far from my friends, my family, my fridge, and worst of all, this was my idea. Fortunately, I had the flag of the motivation, on which my friends had written me messages. Reading them gave me the courage to go on. And to top this, it was that day I saw whales for the first time. And when you see this, I can tell you, you forget all your problems.
I miss many things here, and there is many things I have here that I cannot have home. But in the morning it's very hard to put this in mind. But in the evening, yeah, I feel this again, and I feel very happy. I feel quiet. I think what I have to learn is to go slowly now. I have to learn to take the time to do everything. Here still everything I do, I want to do it fast, to make it finish as quick as possible, and it's not the way.
I had to push this plastic, which was the protection of my solar panel, because I realized that my roof is not waterproof at all, and I really need a waterproof roof for all the material I have. That's why I put this. And I will start today doing to work with the coconut sleeve to do a waterproof roof.
The first step was to reach the top of the coconut tree. But if climbing up a tree seems to be rather easy, reaching the palms of that tree with such a smooth trunk is a different kettle of fish. Having accomplished this exploit, I stripped the tree of its palms. I had chosen them because of their length, which pretty much matched the one of my roof. Then comes the weaving. The method is simple. Once above, once under. Once above, once under.
On lève, on laisse en bas, on lève, on laisse en bas, on lève. On descend, on ramène.
In the Tonga Islands, the roof of the shelters are covered by layering lattice work, which makes them waterproof. Obviously, quite a few of them are needed anyway. Another major problem I had was the mosquitoes. There were thousands of them in that forest. So the best way to keep them away from my camp was to clean around the shelter and to open up the space, so the wind from the ocean could create a natural protection. But it didn't work.
Since this morning, I hear the volcano. And I didn't know what happened, and I was a bit worried because we never know. And that's why I came to the top. I have to find now. I came to the top to have a look at the volcano.
The way up to the volcano isn't really a piece of cake, especially when it comes to walking through the tangled fern. But once you reach the side of the crater, the sight makes you forget the effort.
Wow! It's beautiful! You really feel humble in this kind of moment. Made me cry.
It's true that sometimes I feel lonely. The only thing who didn't change here, it's me. I mean, at the beginning. But I'm here for 1 month here, and it's true that I missed pretty much everything. I'm in the middle of the nature, but I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm alone. I'm really alone, and that's not easy.
After my first visit to the volcano, I decided that every day I would extend the known perimeter to an extra few hundred meters.
I'm always looking a little bit around. There is always things to discover, to find. Always, always.
Today it was a mango tree, enormous, bending because of too many fruits. To find those fruits almost ripe felt like getting Christmas presents. In order to reinforce my roofing, I needed some rope, and on Tofua the rope tree existed. I only had to find it.
Oh no, that's not solid at all. That's not it. This is completely rotten.
And after several attempts, I finally found what I was looking for.
Yes!
I only had to cut some long straps out of the bark and let them dry under the sun.
I finished one side of the roof today. We still have to see if it's waterproof, of course, but at least I did it with nothing, with my hand, and the coconut sleeve, and I am proud of this. And you know, the life here, it's very simple, but it's not as easy as that. Huh? Everything you have to do yourself, and I learn a lot about this. It gives me a new perception of the world.
Since fishing didn't bring me food every day, I added a new dish to my diet. Small coconut sprout cooked over charcoal, dressed with ashes and bran. The coconut was easy to cut open. The inside looked like a fruit compote. It is hard to describe the taste. Soft, a bit sweet, but with no taste of cocoa. And warm, it was excellent. After more than 1 month on the island, I was able to survive and get organized the essentials. There was only one problem left, the lack of human contact.
What I realize now is that I start feeling lonely because I have nobody to talk. I have nobody to change opinion, and then I talk to myself, but I always agree with me. Then it's not fun, and nobody can give me more information about what I know already. And I'm just alone. Whatever I do, I am alone. I cannot say, hey, yeah, woo, you know. I think in my mind I have enough. So I start to be bored now. lonely and bored. I found a very nice place there, but the access is very hard to go from the beach because of all the stones. Then maybe I can find the easiest way to go from inside. Yes!
Sitting on that beach, I contemplated the vastness of the ocean, savoring my victory. But taking a look around me, I found myself faced with the worst of our civilization. So much trash, thrown into the ocean, thousands of kilometers from here, and carried away by the water streams to end up along the shore. I even found a bit of bamboo. What could I use it for? I decided to bring it back to the camp until I found a use for it. But I already had my idea. Allez!
And now, in theory, I have a didgeridoo.
If you forget the mosquitoes, life on Tofua might seem to be quite mellow. But every day, when going fishing, I took the risk of wounding myself walking on the rocks. I regularly scrapped myself during my explorations in the forest. I ended up having numerous infections beneath the skin that didn't heal anymore. I had to use my satellite phone to call Dr. Richon in Switzerland. He did the follow-up from there.
Yes, Jack, this is Xavier Rosset calling. Mentally speaking, I'm fine. I can pretty much do whatever I want, but it's physically, I have a small technical problem. I need you either to...
I described him how things looked. He told me what to use from the medical kit that he helped me to put together in Switzerland.
Now I go for it. I really don't want to do it because it hurts already so much. Maybe after it will be better. The dirt comes out every day. I have to wash every day to the sea water. After I have to boil flat water. I have to clean again with normal water. I have to put betadine, which is a special cream. I am in the middle of nowhere and I'm taking antibiotic. In 5 days, if it not goes better, I have to call back the doctor.
Thanks to my doctor's advice and taking special care of my wounds, they healed within a few days. However, even if I was busy every day, I started to suffer from another problem that medicine couldn't heal.
I have no motivation to do anything anymore now. Because I am alone. I didn't even try to do the fire yet with the wood, you know, because I am fed up. I don't have any. I don't know. Maybe why should I do this? I am alone. Who I should share this with? Nobody. Nobody.
I come because I need some help for my friend in my village. Was cutting his fingers like this, break the cover and break his fingers too.
Just as if he had heard me, Luffy appeared in my life. A few days per year, farmers from the neighboring island come to Tofua to cultivate kava, a plant whose roots is used to produce a bitter drink. Luffy was one of them. He knew more or less where my camp was. He came to me, hoping that I could save his friend's finger, but their camp was more than 6 hours walk away.
Alright, now I am on the way back to the village of my friend Luffy, because one of his friends had a big cut on the fingers. A little bit of the finger went out, and maybe I can do something. I will try to do my best, but if the infection starts already, it will be too late. The best way to see is to go and have a look.
Luffy preferred to follow me, so he could adapt his speed to mine, rather than looking over his shoulder to avoid losing me.
Very sweet, yeah?
The middle, huh? It's very, very sweet. Oh, c'est tellement bon.
Once we reached the camp, I was quickly able to measure the gravity of the case.
You okay? Malo elele.
I could administer first aid, but I knew that he would have to get to a medical center as soon as the boat would be able to pick him up. In the meantime, I did my best with the medical kit and my little knowledge.
Yo! Alright, I think I did my best with your friend. Until tomorrow I can do, but after it's better, he goes to hospital.
Okay, thanks.
I'm a doctor in Tofua, but I did my best. Jimmy's finger is going much better now, and for me it's time to go back to Hokula, to my house in Hokula. It's true that it makes me strange to leave these people. They're really nice people, and to go back again alone in my place, I don't know. But now it's time to go, and I am on the way. Very warm day, and
You don't always find solitude, even when you look for it.
there is a boat arriving, a sailing boat. It looks like it comes near Hokula. For me it could be an extraordinary visit, and I really look forward to see them.
The sailboat brought along a group of Norwegians who were completing 2 months of sailing in the archipelago.
For one time it's not me on the camera.
No, it's visitors.
What do you think about the house? Have you saw it, yeah?
Not a lot of luxury, but it'll do, I guess, for you for the next half a year or a year. You have a bed, and you have somewhere to hide from the rain if you're finishing the roof. You need to finish your new roof first.
Before finishing my roof, I took them to the volcano. They had the day, and I had all the time in the world. It wasn't the first time I was here, but until now I stayed on the crest. With them, I went even closer to the crater.
I like this.
In a remote island, middle of nowhere.
Yeah. One inhabitant. That's kind of cool.
You like machete?
Yeah.
You like the work with the machete?
Really cool way to go to the forest.
I could guide these people, very nice people, could guide them up to the top of the island and bring them down to the volcano and spend the day with them. They have to leave today, unfortunately, but we spent a nice day together, and now I get a little bit of rice, I'll get onion, I get 1 garlic, I get 2 beers, and I get also a Coca-Cola. And I'm really happy that I met them. It was cool because today I was not lonely anymore. I could talk to people, I could exchange opinion, I could, I was not alone anymore. And now it's true that I feel very happy because they were here, but in the other way I feel also a bit sad because they're leaving. But what I have to keep in my mind is that they were here with me and they changed my day. Thank you, Norwegian people. Thank you very much.
Woo! My visitors were right. In December the rain season begins and I had to make sure my roof was waterproof. Once the job done and the last branches fixed, I decided to treat myself to another small luxury. The view and the ocean. But all the work with the machete ended up blunting the blade.
Machete doesn't cut anymore at all.
And to sharpen it, there was nothing better than the volcanic stone polished by the sea. Once wet, it worked perfectly. After a few months on the island, I had enough knowledge, so that something like a routine had settled in. I was quite good at providing food for myself, and the perimeter around my camp had increased considerably, as well as the loneliness. On Christmas Day, I decided to use my satellite phone to leave a message to my parents. It is the first Christmas I spend without you. It feels a bit bizarre, but that's the way it is. I just wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas, and Daddy, I hope your hips goes better, that everything goes fine, and I wanted to let you know that everything goes well here. Don't worry for me, and I wish you a Merry Christmas. To spend Christmas and New Year's Eve alone on an island is really depressing. I was thinking about my friends, my family, the foie gras, champagne and sparkles, all those things usually I don't really like. I was here for another 6 months of solitude. Well, not exactly, because Gaël, my best friend, promised to come over here and spend the 2 last weeks with me. But meanwhile, I was alone. That's what I thought, because the arrival of surprising company lifted my spirits.
His name is Sugar, and he's 9 months old. It's the father of Fluffy who gave it to me because he thought that I was too much lonely here in Hokula.
Luffy, the farmer who came to ask me for help, came back one morning to give me this dog as a gift. He wanted to thank me for having saved his friend's finger. My motivation was back on track. A little garden would add diversity to my diet. So I became a farmer, always using what I could find around.
Could be strange, I choose the front of the school to make my plantation, but it's strategically very well thinking, because first of all here it's the only place where there is no big tree. Another thing also is that it's 15-20 minutes walk from my camp. Then I can come every day because of the wild pig. And if I don't come every day, they will eat all the things I put here. Also, one more reason is that the water tanker is here. I will use it to give water to my plantation. I need to work more useful than beautiful.
I had also kept the watermelon seeds that Luffy gave me along with the dog. The ground seemed fertile and the temperature ideal. So while waiting for things to grow, I decided to continue exploring the island. Looking for new fruits or vegetables, beaches, cave, or simply new landscapes, I walked along the coast to the west, along the rocky cliffs, blocking the access to the sea.
Here I am on the west side of the island. The target was to discover a little bit this part of the island, which is very different than the part where I have my house. Here there is no big trees, there is low vegetation and very dry vegetation. And also one of the goals is to find the Captain Cook cave, because it's near the ocean, but it's so big here that to find it's not impossible, but very hard.
Okay, now it's time to go home to cook dinner. and to be able to eat, I need a fish. And that evening, I got a supersized surprise. I caught this. I'm a bit scared to see this little beast. I saw another one approximately 1 month ago, quite the same size. I think it's quite big, you see? Apart from the animal being impressive, suddenly I had a large amount of food. I tried my umu. It's a hole in the ground in which you prepare a fire. You put the pieces of fish over hot embers and covering it up completely, just like an oven. The heat that comes from it is supposed to cook everything slowly, over hours. The shark spent the whole night being cooked. I pray that no insect will invite itself to a meal at my expense. Upon removal of the leaves and earth that covered it up, I was relieved. It's hot. It's still hot. The slow cooking was going to preserve the fish for 2 to 3 days, but I was frustrated from only eating fish this past month. So I decided to go hunting for wild pig.
I try to find a pig path. There is many paths for the pigs around here, and the pig use this path. And for us, it's not possible to follow on this path because they are 60 centimeters high, no more. But if I find one, I want to make a hole on it, like 80 centimeters long, 40 centimeters large, and maybe 1 meter 20 deep. And I want to hide and put some coconuts on it, and maybe I can get a pig.
Following the path, I wanted to find the right place where the ground was soft and close to water, and where pigs would pass by for sure.
Water. I think I find a good pig path. And now I have to find a good place and make a hole.
While waiting, my little garden had started growing. The first sprouts were visible. It was a great success and the final result looked quite promising. Great! Here are the watermelons. And here there is the little onions. Only 1 week after my gardening efforts, everything was above ground. Okay, I didn't have a great selection, but I could see that my work was bearing its fruits. The trap was ready, the garden growing. It was the perfect time to pay a visit to the volcano.
I woke up this morning and I had nothing to do. Then I say, why not to go to see the volcano? And on the way from the top I could hear very big noise from the volcano already. When you're down here, it really looks like a moon place. And now I go to see the volcano.
Humility characterized each visit to the volcano. I was in contact with the center of the earth. Water, air, earth and fire, all the elements were gathered. Thousands of years of tropical rain had forged this magnificent landscape. As I was walking through the canyons, I was thrown deep into the incredible story of the island formation. Scratches were part of my daily number of little inconveniences to which I pay little attention. But when one of them started to swell and I couldn't even bend my finger, I started getting concerned. It was really painful. Over the phone, my doctor explained the move I had to carry out to try to stop the infection.
In 24 hours, if it doesn't look like it's better, I go to the hospital. It will take me between 5 and 10 days until I can reach the first hospital. They can do something for me. Then, I don't have to wait too long. If the infection doesn't stay really in the hand, it can goes up to the arm and goes into the blood, and it can do a general infection. And if I have a general infection, it's my life which is in danger, and I don't want to die. I'm not scared to die, but if I can do something against, I will,
On Chefua, it rains nearly every day. Since some time now, my roof had proven itself to be waterproof. So, well protected, I waited for the rain to stop and was giving my hand a rest.
There is nothing really special to do. This is the kind of day you will have to learn to do nothing. Then I do nothing.
The next morning, when I arrived at the trap, it was a nice surprise to see it wasn't covered anymore. It was a baby pig, a female. Surely its mother passed next to it, but the little one fell inside.
You know what? I make such a big hole just for you. Small pig like you. Ah bah c'est mieux ça déjà. Mieux déjà, hein? Il me semble que je parle le langage porcin.
I didn't really know what I was going to do with it, but I certainly wasn't going to leave it to die here, alone. A few days later, when my finger was better, I decided to continue looking for Captain Cook's cave. When the Tongan brought me to the island, they had shown me where it was. This time, luck was on my side. I could feel certain vibrations, and I had the feeling I had finally found it. In my garden, the plants were making me happier and happier.
Here is one, and here another one, very small, who just started.
I'm really happy, and I made it with my little hands, and that's the result. Normally when I go walking, the pigs follow me, but today I'm doing quite a big walk, and the pig follow me, but it follow me just for 1 kilometer, something like this, and after it goes in the bush and start to hide. And for me it takes me maybe 2 hours to take the pigs back, and after I have to carry it, and the pig doesn't like to be carried. Then he shouts, and to carry a pig for 2 hours, 3 hours like this shouting is not possible, and it's very noisy, a pig, and that's why next time I will build a little cage in the front of my house to put the pig, because you learn how to be patient. This for 2 hours now. horrible.
Each day, the island was full of surprises. From waving my machete around, I ended up cutting some strange vine.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, for sure it takes a little bit more time than to drink water in our countries, but at least we have water, and here we have time. And it's very good, it's a little bit sweet. When I go in the forest, it's really important to have this, because there is not many coconut around, and I need to drink. Since I am in Tofua, it's really the first time I see this. Big wave crashing, it's very big wave. There is the place I go for fishing, and maybe today the waves are like 10 meters higher. It looks like the beginning of a storm, or I don't know. Oh la la, big wave. It's really amazing.
Seeing the storm coming in, I wondered if my hut was going to survive. The waterproof ability is one thing, but there were other issues to consider, like the roof flying away or a coconut tree falling on it. I had to get my solar panel out of there. The next morning, coming back to the same spot, there was nothing left. The ocean had taken everything away. In the evening, the wind had become even stronger, and by nightfall, my ordeal really began. The cracking noises were pretty scary, but the worst was when the wind turned. The rain hit me straight in the face. There were no place to hide anymore. I was soaked.
Hi everybody. Now it's the morning starts to come again, which is very good because most of the night I didn't sleep because I could not see around me and I didn't know what happened, but I could hear many noise, thunderstorm, thunder, lightning and everything. And I slept a little bit, but every time I was falling asleep, something waked me up again. And yeah, very short night. Now I am happy the day is coming again because I start to be able to see again what happened. It's important. New day, new day. I'm happy because my shelter is not out, it's not destroyed.
This is the thing I used to clean in front of my house, and I decided to do two paths in front of my house. I know it's not very useful to do this path because every day I have to do it again because the leaves from the trees are falling down a lot and I need to do it again. But then I have something else to do because sometimes the time here sometimes is very long, then I don't know what to do.
I also had to put my solar system back together. Apparently there is no mistake, it is fully charging.
I was not sure that the adapter was working because of all the humidity was with the storm. Maybe I thought it was broken, but it still worked and it looks like it works good.
But there were casualties from the storm anyway. At first sight, everything looked okay. The sugarcane had grown, as well as the onions and the taro. The watermelons, however, didn't make it. They were rotten. It was terrible. Everything was destroyed. I drowned my affliction in a new artisanal project.
I'm quite happy because now I have a bench. Sometimes it's hard here to get the motivation, but today I woke up and I said, yeah, cool, I'm gonna do the bench. And now in the evening I have a bench. I have my bench. I'm happy.
I was close to the end of my adventure. Soon Gael would arrive to help me, adjust back to a social life and get ready to go back home. So I started scanning the horizon. In this world, nothing can be taken for granted. Peggy had a bad surprise in store for me. As usual, she got out of her pen, but this time, she disappeared.
Today I went in the island, maybe 500 meters this way, 500 meters the other way, try to find her, but the island is so big, you can look for how long you want. I mean, it was not possible to find her, but at least I tried. When I catch her in the hole I did, she was something like 3 weeks old maximum. She was very small. I had to feed her the best I could, and after 1 week she started to eat by herself. That was a great victory for me. I feel like a parent who need to let the kids go out. And if it was her decision to go back into the nature and to split with me and to start doing her life again in the wild, it's her decision, and I'm happy with it. And now she's gone, and I have no trouble around my shelter. I'm missing a little bit this, but I mean, you know, it's part of the game. I just hope everything is okay for her. And if one day before I leave she want to come back to say hello, I'll be very happy.
Gael's arrival meant the end of my solitary life, and that truly revived my energy. I wanted to show him everything. And when I think it back, I tell myself it was something incredible.
Je savais pas comment j'allais le retrouver, ça fait tellement longtemps que je le connais, même au fond de toi-même, te connaissant bien, tu dis est-ce que c'est toujours le même?
C'était vraiment l'inverse, énormément, toute la motive qui revient, tout le... Et ça c'était cool. C'était cool. It's very nice because since Gael arrived, I can start to eat again like the food I used to eat in Switzerland, and here there is dry meat and cheese, and it's paradise of Nirvana. Christmas time.
One of Gael's first challenges was finding his way through the forest. Hey Gael, where is the path?
Oh bah, ça dépend en fait, soit par là, soit par là, soit par là.
During a little over 2 weeks, I tried to share my experience of the 9 last months with my friend. Fishing, the volcano. I told him everything. My joys, my sorrow, my loneliness.
Se retrouver dans un lieu inconnu, absolument fantastique, c'est que du bonheur. C'est là que je me suis rendu compte de la difficulté de la solitude. C'est parce que rien que d'être deux, même sans avoir vécu le trip de 10 mois de solitude, tu te rends compte qu'avec quelqu'un, tu peux vraiment partager des trucs énormes. Tout seul, c'est pas être facile.
The final departure was closing in. There was one more task to accomplish before leaving the island.
When I put the box in the hole, I stopped the time. And what I realize now is that even if I wanted to stop the time is still running. But you don't have the same perception. And for me it was important always in this trip to know what was the day. And I know that every experience has a beginning and have an end. And when when the experience starts, when the adventure starts, you really have to push forward. And at the end, you have to accept that you have to quit all this.
And it's part of the game, to quit all this and to go back to the life I had before. When I came here, I didn't know anything about this place. Anything. And now, I can say after 9 months and a half, I feel home. Yeah, I feel home.
Et je sens en toi l'odeur des éléments et je retourne m'asseoir auprès de ces gens et je soulève la poussière. Les tambours battant, je te ramène des tempêtes avant d'avoir semé les vents. En toi l'odeur des éléments et je retourne m'asseoir auprès de ces gens et je soulève la poussière. Les tambours battant, je te ramène des tempêtes avant d'avoir semé des vents. Avant d'avoir semé des vents. Les pieds au sol et la tête en arrière et les yeux dans le ciel. Je contemple ces lumières en me demandant souvent d'où vient la beauté vent. Semer des vents, semer des vents, semer des vents.